right,
You know, work up a sweat.
All right.
Oh, we're live already. Oh, is this from Dead Tired?
Yes, it's him running. He's running to the Hogfather.
Soundbooth Theater presents Dead
This matches
Tired.
Hogfather. Is this really the music from Dead Tired?
This is the music from Dead Tired. I composed it before I even knew what Hogfather was or that it existed.
It reminds me of Hogfather.
It has some Hogfather energy, I do agree.
It definitely does.
Boom, boom. Just wait for the second last chord. You will be very reminded.
Okay.
Uh-huh. A nice sip of eggnog.
All right.
Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Surprise, surprise!
Yes, a surprise stream.
Soundbooth Theater Live, a random one. The last Soundbooth Theater Live.
Are we sure?
Hey. Yes, we brought a lumberjack. Oh, he's over here. The lumberjack has arrived. How many trees did you fell today? This is Jesse Munk. Jesse Munk, how many trees did you fell today?
Oh, I don't know. I'm from Oregon, so let's say a few.
Like 30.
Gotta be 30. At least. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. This was a bit unexpected. You're absolutely right. Because it's a surprise. It wouldn't be a surprise if it was expected. Yeah, introductions. My name's Justin Thomas James. Do you guys do introductions anymore or just talk now? Because everybody
Well, I
knows
mean,
who
you
you
haven't
are.
been with us in forever.
This
It's
is
been a while.
Justin.
We need
He's-
to reintroduce
he's
you.
the
Jared.
I feel
Father.
weird introducing the it's just reflex for me because it's
Yeah, you're the booth
last
father.
I'm the who father.
The booth father.
I'm the booth father.
the
Yeah,
booth
we're gonna
father?
do Hogfather,
That's
but yes,
booth
you're the
father.
booth. He's booth father. Hey, booth father.
The Faja. Yes. What are we doing today? Why are we hosting the theater?
Well, I think you
Theater
know
is in
the answer
session.
to that. This
Oh,
was
I was-
idea.
I was throwing
Was it
the
a
ball.
rhetorical? It was a rhetorical question. No, he
Me?
didn't. He was
I
just
don't
asking.
do good with catching balls, Justin.
he
Okay.
was
Or
just-
throwing them.
Well, I am here to do a couple things.
Justin
First of
has
all,
some exciting
we have a new
news.
release.
Yes.
Hey,
Yay.
Dead Tired, a book that I narrated and had. We had Dory Sachs and Tiana Camacho and Jeff Hayes on there as well, and it released yesterday, and it's doing quite swimmingly.
Oh, you might say.
It is #1 in humorous fantasy, which is
out Dungeon Crawler.
where it needs to be. For a minute there, is it still there? Is it still?
I don't know. Can you pull it up?
I'm sure it's
I don't
probably
know
right
how.
there on his
we go.
browser. He's only
All
been
right.
watching it.
Can you share it?
I'm
refreshing it every few minutes.
Yeah, good. Let's see it.
She's
Let's
not
see it.
wrong. Sin is not wrong. All right, share the
He has a
screen.
bot.
All right. Okay, it's gonna get weird for a second. Whoa, so it changed quickly. Okay, here we go.
All right, here we go.
I'm tired. Let's see if it's still #1.
Oh, that's
Boom. There it is. There's the ebook. There's the audiobook. Okay. Boom. #1 in bestseller
Oh, nice.
humorous fantasy. And my joke, of course, has been because it's a skeleton, the bone humorous.
That took me a bit to get.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 304 in Audible books originals, all of Audible. Whoa!
Nice.
#1 in humorous fantasy. #3 in contemporary fantasy. It was #2, but Neil Gaiman came and stole. Oh! And Dungeon Crawler Carl! Well, actually, no. Dungeon Crawler Carl was always ahead in contemporary fantasy. But, anyways.
But it is
happy.
nice to see. It is certainly nice to see that many Soundbooth titles and
Yeah.
in that little chart
Absolutely.
there. We're
Very
contemporary, y'all. I'm an old man, but somehow I'm contemporary.
We are contemporaries.
Actually, when you say like contemporary rock, I guess does that mean like a rock for older people? It's contemporary, and like, is that trying to say?
I thought contemporary means modern,
That's
but
what I
also
thought.
modern is a era. Like the modern era is not actually right now anymore. It's like, or in architecture at least.
So when they say contemporary humor, they mean like today. They mean
That's
now.
what I
hope
assumed.
Yeah. Well, anyways, if you're watching this, check that out. What's up with the comments? Is that Rich in the SBTL? Who's
is he
in
having a
SBTL?
stroke? Rich, you all right there? Back there?
Is that you on SBTL?
Are you Rich? You okay?
Who's on the SBTL account? We're just so famous. What's the point? Humorous. There it is. Thank you. The puns from the community have been spectacular.
Yeah, Cheryl knows what I'm talking about.
It tends to be old people music.
Contemporary. There was, because I remember at the time back when there was CDs were around, it was a category, and it was like
contemporary
soft, folk. Like jazz that was upbeat, but like you would never. I don't know, Anyway,
it's got to be Hefe. If it's Hefe, get on here and have a drink with us.
No, he doesn't want to be on here. He's
enjoying tonight.
About that definition. Exactly. Sasha, you said the same. As soon as I read it, you must have posted that up. It means occurring in the present.
It does.
It means like right now. So that's why I don't understand why it's deemed as a.
I agree with you, Sin.
That's so.
I don't know either. It's like but like postmodern, the postmodern era. Technically, would be in the future. Because
but Amazon likely means it. Means it as
I assumed that they mean like modern times today,
like right now.
Yeah.
Different contexts.
Yeah.
This is great eggnog, by the way.
Oh, how many eggs?
What'd you spike it with?
Believe it or not, amaretto. Because I don't have any rum.
Oh.
But I see you nodding. Jesse.
Yeah.
I see you nodding. Is this sanctioned? Do you approve?
Oh, amaretto is amazing. Di Serrano.
That's what it is. Oh, it's so good. Di Serrano and eggnog. It's sweet, but it's very good.
Ooh,
yes.
Very sweet, I'm sure.
So what are we looking at here? Let me tell you. I was trying to get a PNG tuber thing working, but I couldn't get it working in time. I had like 5 minutes. That's why I was a little late to the rehearsal. We rehearsed these. All of these words have been pre-scripted. Every single word out of my mouth, Sin's mouth, Jesse's mouth, and Ahmed's mouth it has been written painfully by a human being, several human beings. We have a whole team preparing our script. But anyways, dead tired. This is the main character. So this is Harold. He's a lich. Harold. That's right.
What a name.
Oh, that's right. Wait. How do you know
I didn't
Harold?
know his name was Harold.
What's wrong with Harold?
Of all names, yeah,
It's just like he doesn't look like a Herald.
What's a Harold supposed to look like?
Not like him.
He seems more like a Wilfred.
Too cool to be a Herald.
He's too cool to be a
Well,
Harold.
no, Harold. There was a time when Harold was a cool name, though, right?
Was it? Okay.
Maybe
I
like in the
suppose so.
40s or something. I mean, look at his tie. Look at his.
In other words, not in contemporary times,
He's
right?
wearing brown with a red tie. Like
Yes, Harold is a contemporary. Clearly,
And
he's
so you guys
thousands
now you
of
guys
years
see,
old.
So
my
he's
point.
a lich in a game,
Lich.
I guess.
Yeah, well, kind of, but not really. He lives in a world that happens to have D&D rules. It's got D&D rules, but there's spells. There's even actually spells from D&D. Chill touches in there. So
Like really
why are
D&D.
you showcasing that comment of all the comments?
Harold, you're snarky.
I like my eggnog.
Clearly.
Less clear, more of an opaque. Hi-yo!
I can't believe the biggest troll of all. It's so funny.
Who's the biggest troll of them all?
I don't know. He's Beezy.
I'm Beezy. Good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself there, Heffrey. We have...
Is that what Harold would call him, Heffrey?
Probably. Oh, you don't pronounce the J, right? What culture are we
Jeff.
in? My name is Jeff. So Harold is the storyline is that Harold is a scientist, you see. Thousands of years ago, he's this scientist. He's brilliant. He's a very powerful mage. This is, before he even was undead. And he realized he's working away, he's doing studying, he's powerful, getting more powerful, and then one day he gets a ping, he's doing some experiment, and he gets a ping that says he has leveled up, and he's all excited, oh, I leveled up, what are my new powers? And the notification just says, max level. He's reached the top. And then he's like, whoa, what's the point now? I've just reached the pinnacle of everything, and now, there's nothing to do. There's no point in, experimenting and learning about new monsters and all that stuff when, I can't improve anymore.
I can't fit any more stuff in my brain. Nice. Okay.
Is that it? Oh, yes. So he's just like, oh, God, he was beside himself, so he decided to, focus on becoming immortal, and he did that, and then he focused on taking over the world, so he did that, and then he went and he fought the gods, and he did that, and then, and then he just got kind of bored and tired, so he went to sleep for 2,000 years. Mm. And then some punk woke him up. That's actually a line from the book. And then he wakes up, and the whole world has changed. Everybody's doing this whole whoosh cultivation thing, and it's not scientifically founded. So what's a lich mage supposed to do? A scientist with integrity? Does he just leave the world to go off the rails like this in this manifestation woo-wah-ness, or does he bring the world back into something grounded in the scientific method? And then he meets some kooky characters along the way. I feel like I skipped a part. But anyways, that's close enough.
What, wushu? Is that?
Whoosha.
Wusha.
Wuxia, I believe it's called. Wusha. He's basically, yes, he's basically One Punch Man, Sashi. But he's a skeleton. But he doesn't have the same motivation. He doesn't want to fight people. He doesn't want to have a good battle. He just wants to learn, and he just wants to understand what's going on, and he's curious. So, anyways, that's it. That's dead tired.
Okay.
It's funny.
I'm gonna listen to this.
Well, we're doing it again, I suppose.
Okay, now Justin's leaving. Okay, Justin. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm leaving now.
No, I'm just kidding.
Better not.
See you guys later. So, one of the things, so there's been a lot of promotion this past week, and past 2 weeks, actually, while I was in pre-order, and a lot of the people here, actually, like a lot of names, Paul Pollard, Goddess, Zai, is Keon here? Is Keon here? Lot of people have been participating, with the hype. But one member of the community, Keon, recommended that because this is a skeleton-based book, and we're getting close to Christmas, that we should watch The Hogfather. And I had never heard of The Hogfather, and I was like, yeah, this could be fun. And so I just kind of offhandedly mentioned it to Sin.
Okay, you totally did startle me that time. I wasn't expecting it. So technically, this is not a movie, but anyway, yes.
I love that intro comes in when someone is talking. Always, it's like mid-sentence. So the important thing that you need to know about this story, the funniest thing in the world is boom, boom, boom.
Well, you know,
I
it's
love
funny.
that song now.
I love it too. I think Dane did a fantastic job on it.
Is this the right version? Are we talking about the right version?
Yes,
This
it
is
is.
it.
Okay.
So you know, it's funny. I mentioned to you, Justin, a few days ago.
Yes.
I was repurposing the collab video that I did last year with Soundbooth Theater, the first ever time we did the cinema segment for Violent Night, and someone in the comments jumped in and suggested Hogfather.
Oh, no kidding.
Because
yeah,
it's
you
a
mentioned
Christmassy
that.
themed thing, and I had forgotten all about it, and then I saw that, and I'm like, oh, of course,
It's meant to be. I was actually surprised by your, like, I was like, yeah, maybe we could do like a stream, like that would be kind of cool. Like, is it possible? Whatever, just kind of, sussing out interest. And you ran with it. You were like, okay, we're watching The Hogfather. Have you gotten it? Have you downloaded it? It's on Prime. It's here. You can get it here. I was like, okay, all right, we're doing it.
Here's the link.
Yeah, exactly. But okay,
I'm always
so
down for something like this.
I've watched it. Sin's watched it. Ahmed has.
I've watched a third of it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to it. But
Okay.
oh well, I'm not going to say anything. I don't
yet.
want to start.
Jesse, have you seen or heard of the Hogfather?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You
Terry
know
Pratchett.
more about it than I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a few years, but yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Right.
So good. So Jesse can weigh in as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
From what I can remember, like it's been at least 2 years.
That's fine. we need you. You're the long perspective, and
I
I'm
also
the very
have a-
short perspective.
I also have a vague memory of it, and this will give you guys some context into probably disappointing answers because I was high when I watched it. I decided to take an edible.
You weren't an
and
Andrea Parsons?
I was not an Andrea Parsons, so I took a reasonable amount. And I had a very hard time following. I couldn't tell at first, I couldn't tell if I was struggling to understand it because it's like really kind of not complicated, but just like intricate.
It is
like
intricate.
so many different characters and like the
Yes.
theme is kind of bounces around and then takes, more form later on. And I didn't know what was going on for the first half of it until I was like, oh, that's what this is about, like halfway through. I didn't know if that was because it was Terry Pratchett's writing style and the movie, or if it was because I was high.
Or combination.
I would bet both.
I was going to say.
Yeah. So it wasn't just me
definitely
that it's like, it is intricate and it's
Yeah, it is.
Very
I was having
clever.
a little trouble as well. Hey, Mike.
Terry Pratchett's
stopping
super
by.
fond of having things that span between books and that come back around. So there's a bunch of, if I remember correctly, there's a whole bunch of jokes about death in this one, and death is a character that shows up in Terry Pratchett's books over and over again as just like this extremely comedic character.
yeah.
He is comedic. He was
He's
funny.
very comedic.
There were some lines I wrote down that
Me too.
tickled me. That I thought it would like when he was showing up because he's being Hogfather because Hogfather is gone.
Yeah.
And some
basically
people,
Santa for anybody who doesn't know.
Exactly. And so people see him. They said something like something about how he didn't look like a Hogfather. He looked extremely thin in the face. And Death was like, I'm a bit ill. And the guy was like, terminally, I would say. It was just like little lines like that tickled me a lot in this. And this little, I want to want to call it a movie, but it's not. It's a limited series. And it actually is older than I thought because when I first saw that chick, I was like, oh, that's the girl from Downton Abbey. And I thought this was something post Downton Abbey. But no, I think it's pre-Downton Abbey because this was from 2006.
Yeah.
And I
This
loved
is how
her
she
character.
got the gig.
I loved her character. It might be. She was so cool. I liked her
she
hair
was.
because it reminded me of Cruella de Vil, obviously.
Yeah.
But she was just, her facial features, she's so pretty. And how she's always like puzzling and trying to solve everything. And then how her hair did the thing when she transformed into what she really was.
Mm-hmm.
And I just loved everything about her and I liked Death. Those two obviously were my favorites.
She carried me through the beginning of the movie before Death was introduced. Because when I first sat down to watch this, I was kind of expecting a kind of like a Tim Allen type, Christmas movie where it's just like, really kind of just goofy and whatever,
I
like,
see. Okay.
Muppet Treasure Island for kids or whatever.
Yeah.
This kids could watch this and maybe enjoy it. There's some scary parts, I think, for kids.
Yeah, there's some dark parts in it for sure.
But oh my God, like I was, the beginning, I was just like, okay, all right, yeah, this is kind of for kids too. And the thing that was a big turnoff for me at first that changed at the end was 90% of the acting.
Oh,
where
really?
At the very beginning, I was just like, because I was kind of looking at the budget and, the graphics. The graphics on the turtle were actually pretty good. The intro
that
sequence,
intro scene.
I was impressed. Yeah. And I thought that was maybe more recent than 2006, but for 2006, that's pretty good. I thought that the acting, I was just like, what is this? Like, this doesn't feel like a kid's movie. It's not hitting the right beats. But whenever it got to her, I was like, okay, all right, she's a good actor. And the story with her and the kids and the boogeyman under the bed.
Yeah.
That and like the monsters, actually, we're getting into some spoilers.
And they're
the
real,
monsters,
and you think she's just satisfying the child, but no, it's actually real.
You're just going to go in there and make some noises, and then she's going to be satisfied. But really, you were just banging pots and pans around. Yes, that's what you're going to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure. That was a great little twist.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Definitely. I had warm fuzzies about this, actually. Because there was something, and I'm not into Christmassy stuff. I mean, I don't care about Christmas, like shows or movies or anything too much. But this had a different spin on it, and it had that of fantastical type of element to it, and some sort of scary stuff because you had Tia Timing. And he was a threat. He was, oh my gosh, this guy. I got tired of hearing him after a while, though. Honestly, his voice was annoying to me. I mean, I know he was doing it for the part, but it's like, oh, will you please just die already?
He grew on me a lot. At first, I was like, ooh, he's not a good actor, and like, oh, like I don't like, the voice and blah blah blah. But then as it went on, especially the end of part
dialogue,
1, happy hugs, watch everyone.
Yeah.
That part, I just was like, oh,
he was so twisted.
he was really twisted, and then it all felt. I would like to watch it again, actually, because knowing where it goes, I want to, be in that state, of having that faith more.
Having that faith, yeah. I like the little moments of sort of teaching that they're trying to do, or I don't know, like a deeper meaning to it all at the very end when Death and his granddaughter are talking. I thought that was kind of interesting.
There was some really deep philosophical conversations about what Christmas is and what it's about. And of course, that's a trope. That is a trope in those like Tim Allen kids Christmas movies. Like, you just have to believe. But it was a spin on it.
But it wasn't cringy here.
It wasn't cringy, and it wasn't obvious at the beginning. Like, I didn't know, like, in a lot of Christmas movies, like, okay, we just all need to believe, and then they're gonna,
like
save the day by believing.
Like in Violent Night, that happened, and it was cringe.
Yeah, but this was like a mystery. This felt more like a mystery at the beginning, the first half of it.
Yep.
Like, it was like a murder mystery. What happened to the Hogfather?
Right.
And as you're going around, picking up clues, all the different characters kind of trying to, get little pieces of the puzzle. It was really intricate, all culminating in such a simple theme. Yeah. And it's like the murderer that you discover the murderer is. Oh, what are we looking at now? This is The Color of Magic.
Color of Magic is Terry Pratchett's.
Oh, it has the same some of the same characters in there. I noticed that. Did you guys know?
It's 2008, and this is probably the sequel, but also the prequel in a way, because it's the first book.
Yeah, I saw that. I looked it up on
But it's the same team. I think they just kept going. It might be good.
Interesting.
It's very good. Yeah.
It looks like it has those same, did you guys know, well, I mean, I don't know, if you're fans of Terry Pratchett, maybe you knew exactly as soon as you saw him that he had a cameo in here. He was the toy maker at the end.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Who was the toy maker? Rinswin was the toy maker?
Terry Pratchett.
Oh, Terry Pratchett was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wait, the
Yeah, I
toy
thought
maker.
that was
at the end of
interesting.
Hogfather.
Yeah, at the end.
At the end of Hogfather, the toy maker. Wait,
He was
remind
the,
me.
Did not notice
Death
that.
went in there and bought that toy from him.
Oh yeah, that was
And
him.
then he said, "There's a kid with the nose stuck on the glass." Yeah, that was
Well,
him.
I guess
That
it's,
actually confused me.
This guy, this is Terry Pratchett, right?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What confused you about that scene?
So the kid with the nose against the glass, that was his buddy, right? Or that was.
I think
So
it was
his
his
buddy
buddy. Yes,
told
his
his
buddy
story.
that still kept trying to roll a cigarette, and he had
Roll
no
a cigarette
luck.
and never got one.
And
Yeah.
when he finally did, it was nasty to him, and he threw it away.
That's the type of thing about this one, though. Like I was, that whole cigarette thing. I wouldn't be surprised if there's actually some significance to why can't he roll a cigarette?
I'm wondering because, yeah,
You know?
I started
He
to
gives
notice
up.
that. It's like eventually he gave up when it was stuck on his lip, and he just ate the paper.
Yeah.
I would be willing to bet money it's something from a different Terry Pratchett book.
Maybe.
Oh
That's
yeah.
His
Yeah,
style
maybe.
is to
That's fair.
bring back little things here and there from various different books. And he, from what I remember, it's been a long time since I've read a Terry Pratchett book. But from what I remember, he likes to go long periods before he'll bring something back. So he'll throw something in the very first book, and then he'll publish 7 more books before he talks about it again, just to see how many
believe
people
that.
notice.
I had a feeling there was a lot I was missing.
Yeah.
That there was a lot that, because I have not read or listened to any of his stuff at all. I only know of it. So
Jesse, as an
So-
author and reading, Terry Pratchett, what would you say are some of the aspects of his writing that you gravitate towards and admire?
I really like just kind of how insane he is. Like,
Yeah, there's definitely an unhinged element.
yeah,
It's chaos, right? In this
Yeah.
movie, at least.
yeah.
At first,
So
and then he pulls it together.
my favorite of the movies, right, is Going Postal. If you guys get a chance, you should watch that one. Is it
Discworld as well? Discworld?
It's Discworld as well. Yeah, it absolutely. It was up there a little bit earlier. Ahmed had it. It was. It's a guy who I don't remember all the details, but he's, I think, a bank robber. Or he's a criminal of some kind, and he gets sentenced to becoming the postmaster. And so he has to run the entire postal system in Discworld. And the guy right here, the eye patch top hat guy, just to the right of the postmaster, he runs a business. It's kind of like a telegram called the Clacks. It's these giant towers that have shutters, and they use what's effectively Morse code to talk over long distances. And it's this like allegory to like email versus mail. And,
Okay.
and so there's nods to like Ponzi schemes where he's like selling stamps as this way to generate money for the postal system. And it's basically they get this career criminal is brought in to be the postmaster for the entire world, and hilarity ensues. And
Wow.
it's very Terry Pratchett. It's just gonzo. It's completely insane. But at the same time, it has this moral arc where you get this guy who starts off as kind of a turd, and he comes all the way back around. By the end of the movie, you just love the guy. It's really
That's
great.
cool. I'm really excited to watch more of these Terry Pratchett
I'm very
movies.
intrigued. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
So
all
this
of
is the
these-
next sequel. This is the
this is
third
all
one now.
the same universe,
2 years
right?
after.
All of this
Yeah.
takes place in the
It's all
same
Discworld.
land or whatever, or the
Yeah,
same
they-
world.
Yeah, it's continuity times 10. But look, they fixed in this one. They improved the turtle a little bit. You see that?
Yeah. Oh
They
yeah.
improved
Okay,
it.
okay.
It's like because the last one it was the same turtle almost, and this one's like it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit more polished, a little bit more
Yeah.
turtle-y. So
So what
it
were
seems like
your
it's the same team
initial
working.
thoughts there, Ahmed?
Well, no, let's go to Jesse.
Oh
Of
yeah.
Hogfather, or
Hogfather. Yeah.
I remember the first time I watched it was not the first Terry Pratchett movie that I had seen. I think the first I watched was Color of Magic, and this one I remember actually being just a little bit disappointed compared to Color of Magic and Going Postal, but it was still good, and I think it's good because of Death. Right, Death is one of the most recurring characters that I remember in the Terry Pratchett series, and he's just a riot. He's so funny.
He is.
It's
I loved him. I loved whoever did his voice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was so
yeah.
good. And even though it was just the skull, you still felt like he had expression.
It
Certain
was
moments.
that was the
It was,
thing.
it was
It was
great
such
voice acting.
it was such a budget
And
like
body
costume.
language too. Yeah.
Yeah, like the mouth didn't even move.
No.
But it was you didn't need it. You didn't need it. You could extend your imagination. I actually took a screenshot. It's funny because I'm now seeing things that I'm like, oh, that's from the Hogfather. And I've got this little comic, I guess. Here, 1 second. Boop 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 doo. There we go. Gallery. There it is. Yeah. So I saw it again right before this stream, and I'll just hold it up. You can kind of see it. But someone
where's
did a
that
little.
Oh,
Hang on. Oh, sorry.
This-
Why am I making this? I'm making this more difficult. Hold it up.
Oh, there we
There you go.
Oh.
So the first line
I remember
is,
reading this.
"You can't give her that. It's not safe."
Ah.
The little girl has a sword.
Yeah, that
it's a sword.
scene.
They're
Yeah.
not meant to be safe. She's a child. It's educational.
It's education.
What if she cuts herself? That will be an important,
An important
lesson.
lesson. Yes, that's right. I loved
That-
those lines. It was so funny.
But this was the thing that I noticed, like, and I think it's Terry Pratchett. Maybe it's like the director. That's what I'm guessing. It's the director doing an honestly good job of Terry Pratchett. But that whole scene in the mall, where they're trying to he's trying to get the kids there, and he decides, okay, we're just going to give away gifts because it's Christmas. Terry Pratchett just throws joke after joke after joke after joke. Every single line is a joke. And you're just reeling. Like that conversation with the guards where the guy's like, arrest
the buck-toothed
buck-toothed
guard.
guard.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was funny. Yeah.
arrest that man. Why?
Yeah.
Why arrest him? He's giving away presents. He's not the real Hogfather.
Not the real imposter.
He's not the real.
Another
He's an imposter. No, he's not the real imposter. Yeah, I was just
funny.
like,
It
this
was
is so rich. It was so
Yes.
like every line was so rich with cleverness. I was blown away.
And then sometimes you would think there's going to be this sweet, touching moment, like when Death's friend or the guy that was tagging along with him, I don't even remember his name, but he was telling the story about when he was a kid and he wanted that rocking horse so bad. And then he was saying how his father carved him one. And Death was like, oh, and that meant more to you than the rocking horse. And he was like, no, because you're a selfish little bugger at 7.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it didn't.
That was really interesting. Him like going around and being like, this is the meaning of Christmas. They're supposed to buy gifts. They're supposed to. And then the last one, I was like, wow, this is poignant. Where there's that girl sleeping outside in the cold.
Yes.
And Death is like, her time is running out. Like she's going to die. And his buddy's like, but this is the spirit of Hogswatch. You need the have-nots so you can be sitting inside, warming your family. You can be saying, well, we may not be, the richest people in the world, but at least we're not the little girl outside who's dying in the cold.
Them. Was it have-nots?
Yeah, they had a particular word.
Was that what it
minute.
was? Or was it something? I can't
Page
remember.
or something.
There was a certain word.
It was just like, because that is, something that you see a lot is just like, okay, be grateful for what you have, sort of in like Christmas movies. And there is kind of like, sometimes there's an implied because it could be worse. Mm-hmm. And you need the people who are worse off so that you can say,
remind you,
oh, well, we should be grateful because we're not those people. And I was just like, wow, that's cool. But again, I was like reeling from this and I was like, but this is like a Tim Allen movie. Like, why am I feeling so profound over, something that I've seen in Christmas movies all the time, but it's not the same.
It was done, to me, it was done so much better. Because it feels like it was almost something that, while kids could appeal to kids as well, I feel like it was also on an adult level.
Yeah.
There was some silly stuff in there, but still, it felt much more adult than something like the Tim Allen movie, let's say.
Right.
So
right.
I think that's why it wasn't really cringe to me. Even though some of the Christmas messaging stuff in there is like, ugh, normally it'd be like, oh, cringe, you know. But
Right.
it worked for me in here.
Yeah.
So
Same. I got to the end of the first episode, and like most of the first episode, I was like, I don't really know if I'm feeling this. And then the last like 20 minutes, when everything started to come together, and I had like a more firmness within the plot, I was like, I am so excited that there's a second part. I cannot wait to find out what happens next.
Oh yeah, nice.
Which is rare for me with movies.
Nice. And you were watching the one that was where it was split into 2 parts. I was watching the one
That's
where
right.
it was split into 3.
Take care, Shadow of the Raven. Merry Christmas to you.
You too, Carl.
Yeah, mine was split at the Happy Hugs Watch Everyone.
Oh, okay. I can't remember where the second part was. I don't remember where the first part on mine was stopped, but the second part was stopped where they went into the drawing, the house.
Yeah.
The picture. So
I also thought, this whole like exploration of belief and the myths and the legends and hope and the figures that they like started with, because okay, like people aren't believing the Hogfather anymore, so now he's vanishing, but who do people still believe? And it was like, why am I running into the toenail clipping
I don't remember that.
the toenail clipping fairy? I was like this little like Cockney guy that would just run around with a bag and like when someone's clipping toenails, they like run and they grab the toenails and it's like, people just clipping their toenails and believing that some fairy is going to go and pick them up. The oh god of hangovers.
Oh, that guy.
That's such a clever thing. I was like, why do we have this character called the oh god of hangovers? Yeah. And like, because people believe that. People believe in like, oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm hungover.
And as long as someone was thinking about it in this world, they were bringing it to life.
They were bringing it to life. So the oh god of hangovers was stronger than Santa Claus, basically. I just was I thought that was so clever.
I also liked at the very end, Death, the whole time Death is like, well, we have to find the Hogfather, because if we don't, the sun won't rise in the morning. So you think, oh my gosh, doom and gloom and their world is going to die. And then that little twist at the end, he says what's really going to rise, and it's like a ball of gas or whatever. So basically, yeah, it will still rise, but because you don't have this hope of the Godfather, listen to me, the Hogfather, because you don't have the hope that the Hogfather brings,
it's just a ball of gas.
It's just a ball of gas. It doesn't mean anything. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. It made me think. I also really liked. This was kind of a smaller thing, but it was kind of like oh shit, that's a cool idea, where the Tooth Fairy, who the Tooth Fairy actually is.
Yes.
That reveal.
Yes. That was a little confusing. I was confused by that.
You were confused by that?
I didn't understand why did this person end up being the Tooth Fairy? I didn't get that. Oh my gosh, my dogs.
I wonder if I could explain.
I don't remember that. Who did the Tooth Fairy end up being?
The Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the Boogeyman, is like lying under children's beds. Oh, I can't remember. It was a very it was like
this
profound
old
scene.
lady.
Yeah.
And and it was kind of mimicking the whole Little Red Riding Hood thing with the wolf. Yeah.
You could tell she was wearing a wig. It was a very clear wig. So you're not who you say you are.
Right.
But what's up there? And then we find out, okay, she's not the Tooth Fairy, she's the Boogeyman, but she is the Tooth Fairy. She is the one who is taking the teeth and leaving the coins. But she's also the one who's, staying under children's beds, and, I think it was she's kind of watching over them. And
something like she
there was
she
some like
she
really
liked
good
to
reason.
scare them as kids, and then she grew fond of them.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I thought it was some sort of
I
protection
can't leave
or
them.
something.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Hi, Dulcimer.
It's something to keep their belief alive.
Something
as well.
like that. Yeah. Yeah. I just about mentioned something from a totally different movie. I'm sorry. I've got a lot of movies going on in my brain right now.
You're like,
Had
yeah, I
nothing
love
to
the
do
part
with
when
this one.
Godzilla was rising up out of the water. I was
know.
so
I was actually about to mention, that part in that Nicolas Cage movie. And I was like, oh, wait, we're not even talking about that one.
this is not my beautiful Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah,
No.
I liked it. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Same. A rating out of 10?
Very fitting. I think I'd probably give it a 7.5.
I'd put it at an 8 for
Nice.
myself. Yeah. What about you, Ahmed, in terms of what you've seen?
So, first of all, I got this really weird like vibe from it initially that I was like, why does this remind me of Harry Potter? And then it like hit me that I think like what was it? What's the holiday called?
Hogswatch.
Hogswatch,
Because
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Hogwarts,
yeah.
right? And also some of the elements of the story, the way it's sort of dark, sort of light, the way it kind of spins a fairy tale within it. I feel like she totally like, I mean, like all
inspired by
writers
Terry
do,
Pratchett,
inspire,
yeah.
big time. Like I was a little surprised about that. And what was like the icing on the cake was the actual theme, like sounded like Harry Potter. There was one of the themes.
Mm-hmm.
Which sounded, but see, the movie came out. This one came out after Harry Potter, so they kind of,
That's
in a
I was
way,
going to ask when. Well, actually,
are
the
linked
book
in a
was
weird way.
published in '96, so about a year before the first Harry Potter, because I think the first Harry Potter was published in.
This was published in '96, but I guess, Discworld and Terry Pratchett, were
like
around
Hogfather.
much.
They go all the way back to
Yeah,
83.
it says this is the Hogfather's the 20th novel.
Yeah. I think that probably more. I don't know if J.K. Rowling would have been inspired like so much by the Hogfather specifically, but I imagine based on what you're kind of picking up there, Ahmed, is that like she probably read Terry Pratchett.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah. So that was one thing. There was additional. The other thing is I was like, wow, this really reminds me of Neil Gaiman and
Yes.
And,
I thought the same
and it
thing.
turned out they worked out together. They worked out together. They worked together. It turns out they worked together.
Yeah, because I did see something
Yo, can you spot me, bro?
about him in relation to
Yes,
Terry.
Absolutely.
Could you spot me, brother?
But it's taking all of the same as the Sandman. It's taking all these myths and wrapping them into a story together in this whole other like universe, which it's all very clever, right? It's all it's all very clever. I only watched the first third, but I'm definitely gonna finish it, and that's saying
Sorry
a lot,
for the
'cause I don't
spoilers,
have
Ahmed.
to. No, don't worry about it. I'm
Okay.
gonna have to. Well, I feel like I want to because I don't have to, right? Like after the show, like I could just
You
put it down.
actually are curious.
But I actually, because it is severely well written, like to the point where this story, man, it's just like hitting these beats constantly.
Yeah,
Things are changing and transforming, and the characters, there's always something. I'm not sure if it's an attribute of Terry Pratchett's writing. I feel like, but I feel like
movie.
based on the budget, that the writing is saving it like big time. Like
I
the
think so.
writing is really like it was probably
Big
so
time,
easy to do because everybody was so into their lines and the things that were happening because it's such a, I think, well-written piece. That's what I'm assuming based on what I saw. Because I'm like, yeah, the skeleton looks janky as hell, but I don't care. I'm really into this mystery of him trying to figure out what happened. Like now I got to replace. It's just funny how in his mind he's like, well, I gotta save Hogsmiss, and so I gotta. I took a shortcut. I gotta save Hogsmiss, and so I decide to step into his what? Like, how did we get to that?
Yeah.
But it's beautiful and it's kind of like a delicious cookie. Like I just want to keep. Like,
It is.
What now?
It is.
What now?
It is.
What now?
For sure.
It's it's absolute, and I absolutely adore what's her face from from Downton Abbey. She has
I
this very
loved her
like
character so
she,
much.
when she gets like mad, she makes a serious face. She looks very
She's
she has
always thinking and contemplative and
scene,
very measured in the way she
the scene
talks.
actually, I remember the scene where I was like, oh shit, that's cool. When she like reveals who she really is.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't. You see half her face like changes, or you're talking about something
the
later.
hair goes up.
The hair, she
Oh,
looks
right.
like
No,
Bride
I
of
haven't seen
Frankenstein.
Oh, you haven't gotten to that
almost.
part? Okay, yeah. It's you'll see Ahmed, but there's this
But yeah,
one
but it's
shot.
cool. Yeah, go ahead.
There's one shot where she is okay, she's got to go out for a little bit, and she steps outside and it's snowing. But the snow, do you know the scene I'm talking about, Sin? I kind of don't want to spoil it for
You talking about
Ahmed,
when
but...
she did something to her surroundings?
Yes, exactly. And
That
then she
was
steps
cool.
outside and then it's just serene. And the visual effects for that was actually
Was
they did
very
a
cool.
great job with that. They did a
Yeah,
great
I think so. So it's like yeah, in the same way Shrek kind of took all the fairy tales and put them. A lot of stories have done that.
Yeah.
It does this really cool job of like making these reveals, and they turn out to be people like fairy tale characters we know. So
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
way, you're already intimated with it before you even
You know the
watch it,
characters.
because you
have a
know the
relationship
character. You
with
have to have
Right.
yeah, you have to at least know that much. I like how he turned yeah, I mean the whole Christmas the whole commentary on Christmas and consumerism is very interesting. And I can't wait to get to it and like really dig into that. Tia Timey.
Tea
Tea
time.
time?
Everybody kept calling him tea time because that's how it's
I know
freaking spelled.
I know what was wrong with his
Tia
performance, because I it was really bothering me and I couldn't figure. I think I figured it out.
Okay.
What is it?
He was using an American accent.
Yeah.
And I think because Americans
Oh, that
are
didn't even
more
dawn
like
on me.
Americans are more like all like mercenaries, right? I guess because to a Brit, I imagine an American's more mercenary. So when you hear that voice, you probably imagine somebody who's more devious. But I feel like his execution of it was very poor, and I really wanted him to just speak with an English accent. And I thought that he was an American, and they put the American in, and but I was still confused that he didn't have an English accent.
Yeah.
I get that's how that sets him apart, but I think that's what ruined the performance overall.
I didn't,
Well,
I didn't
actually-
even pick up on that about the accent.
Part of it for me, what kind of disappointed me was that I went into this, I'd seen some images. I went in fully thinking that was Woody Harrelson.
Oh yeah,
Like
you
a
said something about Woody Harrelson, and I'm like,
Woody Harrelson, and I was
didn't really
like,
look like him.
yeah, Richard, they co-wrote Good Omens,
That was
and
Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman.
okay,
That's the
okay.
connection. Yeah.
I want to watch. After watching this, I'm like, okay, I need to watch Good Omens.
Good Omens is excellent.
Yeah,
I've heard it's good.
It's
excellent.
I finished the first season. We started the second, but just never followed up. But it's excellent.
Because now
It's
that I know
same
kind
idea,
of what to
same
look
idea,
for.
but with the Bible, sort of like
Yeah.
or rather, it's like you're taking all these well-known, and it's a game now that I'm seeing the game now. This is probably this is probably how they talked about it, right? They were like, okay,
Right.
let's do one with God and the devil, and let's take all the characters and like kind of shuffle them up and give them personalities and put them in an adventure, like a comic book adventure, and and so he's done it here with all the Christmas type stuff, the fairy tale stuff, but yeah, very, very great work. I give it an 8, but I haven't finished it. I give it the first third an 8 for sure.
I think it only gets better.
Yeah, I imagine
personally.
so. I imagine so.
And what about you there, Jesse? What's your rating?
Oh boy. I'd say it's 7.5, 8.
7.5. Okay, 8. So that means that. Let me do some bad Jeff math.
I think it's high 7s.
Your keyboard isn't
low
clacky
8s.
enough.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because I gave it
tried.
7.5. Justin gave it an 8. You gave it an 8. So it's probably close to 8. The total.
Yeah, I think it's
it's 8. It is
8. Or something.
Yeah, no, like 8 times 8 times pi.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
I don't know. Like 8 point
to the power of root.
of
That maths.
yeah.
Hold on. I will
okay.
actually use my calculator here.
All
I
right.
should message
Jeff, message him.
7.75.
I don't think he's watching.
Tell him if he's not drunk not to bother.
If you're not drunk,
Don't bother.
stay home.
Or he's already home. Stay
I mean,
homer.
Can't he just doesn't he know, or is he not watching this?
No.
He
was. Oh, there he's always watching. I mean, Jeff is so annoying. I mean, great. I mean, terrible. I mean, he smells bad. Oh, he's been watching this whole time.
He's omnipotent. Okay.
Jeff ain't here. Let's talk shit on him. Let's go.
See, this guy's watching. See, he's watching for Jeff.
Our shit.
This is Jeff's hitman.
Nice.
Narration
original
socks.
Taco. Hope you enjoy it.
+1 to oral skills.
Oh, hang on. No, we got more information about socks. If you want to read socks.
More information. Oh, the stuff.
Oh, let me do it as Harold. Oh, actually,
All right, Harold, here you go.
I will do it as Alex. Alex
Everybody
is
hates
a maid.
Alex.
Hello. Who hates Alex? I can't read it right now.
Yes.
Buy our shit. Prototype.
Ahmed needs to move the screen.
Narration
read it.
+1.
Oh, snap. Sorry.
That's okay. Soundbooth theater. Here we go.
I'm awful at this, sorry.
These socks, medically proven to provide support. Oh, what? Hold on. +1 silent step. Toe temperature +5. Silly accents +1. Case in point, I'm not wearing one. Arch support +0.2. Balance +1. Heel pain -1. Lego defense +2. That's clever. I like this. Medically proven to provide support and improve narration skills by an order of magnitude. Soundbooth Theatre has poured countless man-hours and resources into perfecting what so many narrators recognize as the most important tool in the art of narration, the sock. Without proper insulation, arch support, and the phalangeal intimacy of a properly affectionate sock, narrators often find their voice acting cold, aimless, and even inhumane. Oh, don't let yourself deliver performances that reveal the naked emptiness of your soul. Equip yourself with Narration +1. I just spat all over my screen. From Soundbooth Theatre. Please note, all orders are packaged and shipped once a week. If you select one-day shipping, it may take several days still for the processing on our end. If purchased in conjunction with other merch, the items will ship all at once, when the socks are ready. Any tests performed on the narration socks were performed by non-human doctors of the Orthopedic Clowning Academy and have no scientific value. Soundbooth Theatre is not liable for any slipping, sliding, or stretching. When the wearing of the narration socks, please use those feet as directed. We do not recommend using the socks as masturbation.
Is that really in there? I didn't know what. Oh my gosh, no.
Side effects
sound like donut, Justin.
may include cringe memes, I know, bad jokes, even worse slurping sounds, and the propensity for risky business.
Speaking of donut.
Speaking of donut.
Donuts here.
I'm
Yes.
getting an echo.
Yeah, a little bit of an echo from someone's headphones. I'm wondering if it's...
Is it me?
It might be you.
It might be me.
Testing.
I'm
I
hearing
don't
like
hear
a
it anymore.
reverb, but I mean,
Did
that's
it just start when I came in?
No. It was there. It's been there.
Okay.
Yes.
It's
the
time,
+1
apparently.
narration socks. It's time.
Any
Yes.
tests performed on the narration
Jeff.
socks were performed by non-human doctors from the Orthopedic Clowning Academy. Damn it. I'd be able to do it. No.
I got farther
We're all
than you
subpar
did.
not easy.
clowns. We're all subpar clowns.
CEO, boss man.
How's everybody doing? I broke the stream. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So
Yeah,
what
you totally kicked Sid out. Why'd you do that?
What has been
Why'd you do that, Jeff?
requested today?
Why'd you just kick her out when you came in?
I don't know.
Yep.
Man.
Yep. Well, how was your evening? Spying
Good.
on us.
I was spying on you while I was paying a bunch of bills.
Yeah. I see. That's
paying a bunch of things.
Something. Do you think you're going to watch The
Tis-
Hogfather after our
tis the
glowing
season.
reviews?
Maybe I didn't realize it was a Terry Pratchett thing.
Oh shit!
Jeff is your upstairs neighbor. Jesse. Jesse, meet Jeff. Jeff's your
What's up, Jesse?
He's upstairs,
Hey.
but he's moving next door.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Here's a story of a man named Jeffy. He's a narrator with Soundbooth Theater. And his buddy, his name is Ahmed. He is a musician. And there's Jesse. He is a writer. And he has an arcade that is that way. To the left in his head. It's pointing to your head, Jesse.
Is it?
The arcade
That's
is in
the
your
arcade.
head.
He is the arcade.
Yeah,
I love that.
Actually, no, it's pointing at a book. What's that book there? What says Darkness?
That's Book of Vile Darkness from
Oh,
Street 5.
yeah, it's D&D, right?
Full of evil shit.
Book of
Oh,
Evil
I love
Darkness?
Evil books.
Vile Darkness.
Vile Darkness.
Vile Darkness.
Which is that's 3 steps lower than evil.
Yeah.
Book of Vile. Yeah, it is lower.
Yeah, when you say
Like
vile.
lower as in like worse, or lower
Yeah,
as
yeah,
in
worse.
not as intense.
As in
Worse.
more evil than evil.
Vile is more evil than evil?
In this context, it is. Yeah. There's a level 1 spell in there that makes people's eyes explode and burst with acid that kills everybody else around them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Cool.
that's pretty vile.
Nice.
Vile.
And that's just the they just reskinned prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reskinned it in evil way. All right, okay, so let's get to work, fellas.
What are we up to?
It's time to read
Action.
some shit.
Action.
I came
Trolls
here
now.
for action.
Hashtag trolls only from this point on.
Okay, so this is what we're trolling, and this is Jesse,
This is Jesse Monk's The Unseen Game. It is a book that he's writing.
Okay.
And he will tell us about it now. Jesse, tell us
Yes.
about The Unseen Game now.
So it's a book about a bunch of friends that are all most of them are all kind of mid-30s. They've been playing D&D since high school, and they're all sick of taking turns as a DM. So they go, they go online. They try to find somebody to come in and be the DM for them. This is sounding a lot like Robert Bevan, but this is kind of where the the similarities end. They find a guy that turns out to be not exactly who they think he is, and he ends up trapping them inside of another world that is D&D. It's their D&D game, and hilarity ensues. It's a dysfunctional group of friends that have played for 20 plus years and all kind of hate each other, but all love each other at the same time. And they bicker and they fight and they're all assholes. And they just kind of have to find a way out of this disaster that they've got themselves into.
All right.
Okay. Can you tell us who are we going to see in this scene? Who do we have here?
So we've got the whole group in this scene. So we're going to see Max, Peter, Richard, Trevor, and Mikey.
Max, Peter, Richard, Trevor, Mikey.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll learn a little bit about who each of them are and kind of what they look like, what they're doing.
Okay. And then we've got the narrator, of course.
There's a narrator, yeah. That's exactly. And there's a couple of middle school kids here as well. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jeff, how do you want to troll this?
Well, do you want me to narrate as Gandalf?
Yeah.
Okay. That seems like a good first step.
Okay.
So, who's the first person to talk there? Peter?
Peter, yes.
All right. So, Justin?
Yep.
What do you want to do for
How
Peter?
about, well, let's see. Well, I'm just going to stall a little bit while I ask the audience for some suggestions. Some celebrity suggestions, fan favorite, me being the fan, Arnold Schwarzenegger. We've got 6 characters. We've already got the narrator as Gandalf, but we've got Peter, Max, Trevor, Richard, and yeah. So there's one more, I think. Aloysius, and then there's some little kids. So if you have any celebrity or characters, Morgan Freeman. All right, I'll do a Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
I'll do Morgan Freeman for
Peter? I like
Peter. Peter.
Because he automatically says, "Do you see this shit?"
Do you see? Okay. No spoilers. All right. A sentient tricycle. Narrate. Jeff, can you narrate like you have a sentient tricycle?
Oh, I thought I was supposed to narrate like I am a sentient
What does that sound like?
tricycle.
Funnily
Deckard
enough,
Cain.
Deckard Cain's too close to Gandalf.
That sounds.
This is going to be a
very.
Wait, is this just going to be a bunch of old people talking together? There's Gandalf. Stay a while and listen.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi.
Deckard Cain.
Steve Buscemi with the rock in his shoe.
Willem Dafoe from The Light.
From The Lighthouse.
Very specific.
Well, I can't do that accent. That accent
sounds like this. What is the accent? Is it Irish?
It's like an old like colonial.
Yeah.
accent.
Robin Williams. Okay, all right.
Ahmed,
that's a
green
tough
room,
one.
please.
Uh-oh. Ahmed's in trouble. Steve Buscemi, funnily enough, we'll do Steve Buscemi for Richard. How about that? Because I don't sound like Steve Buscemi when I do him, but Harold from Dead Tired, I actually thought about Steve Buscemi while I was narrating. It's not a close like caricature or anything. It's just me, channeling my Steve Buscemi, whatever that sounds like.
Steve Buscemi is great for Richard.
Okay, perfect.
Frank Moore says Fizzban. Has he been Oh, there is a Dragonlance animated movie that's like dog shit from what I hear, but surely Fizzban was in that, and but I don't know what he would sound like.
What goes on in the green room?
All right, so
Nobody knows.
So Morgan Freeman is Peter. Max is who?
Yes. Max is. Why don't you do Willem Dafoe turning into the Green Goblin?
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
All right, so I'm Gandalf as narrator. Willem Dafoe / Green Goblin as Max.
Yes. And then also, why don't we get Donut in there?
Okay. Donut, who's a good donut? Trevor?
So Donut could be Trevor. Yeah, absolutely.
And I also want to address that I also had the thought recently, not at first, that my Alex voice kind of sounds like Donut as well. So why don't we get my Alex voice as a character as well? If there's one more character.
There is another character. We still have Mikey.
So we'll have Donut as Mac, or as was it Max?
Trevor.
Max is going to be
Max.
Willem Dafoe. You got the narrator, and I've got Alex is Mikey. I've got Peter as Morgan Freeman, and then I've got Harold, my Harold, or Steve Buscemi as
Richard.
Thank you.
Okay,
Steve Buscemi
got
as Richard. All right.
Let's do this. Chapter 1. Peter took another drag as he looked at the spectacle before him. His mouth sat agape, second-hand menthol lazily billowing outward as his disbelief was written on his face.
Max, do you see this shit?
He said aloud, pointing his cigarette across the street. I fucking see it, but I'm not sure what is actually happening, Max replied. The sound of the two-stroke rose in intensity as the object of their confusion sprouted a grin from ear to ear. Both rear wheels of the 1987 Yamaha Banshee were spinning with reckless abandon on the sidewalk of the middle school. The high school sophomore at the wheel nearly threw himself from the seat as he let off the throttle, just enough that the tires suddenly gained purchase. He shot off across the street straight toward Max and Peter, a slow-motion look of horror taking over all three visages simultaneously. At the last moment, the self-prescribed juvenile delinquent regained control enough to turn down the street and across the railroad tracks, disappearing behind the other side of the embankment and out of view as his 2 strokes siren song slowly faded.
Well, at least he decided to save some pussy for the rest of us,
Peter said, taking another drag. A voice called from across the street. It was one of the middle school boys who were clearly waiting for their parents in front of the school, mere feet from the spectacular show of virility that had just taken place before their eyes.
"Did you guys see that fag? That was gay as fuck, huh?"
The other boys around him doubled up over upon themselves as uproarious laughter filled the street between Peter and the boys. Peter threw his cigarette to the ground, shaking his head slowly.
Come on, Max. Ricky will start bitching if we aren't back at the table soon.
I hate this fucking town sometimes, Max said as he turned to follow his friend. As the clatter of the aluminium screen door reverberated behind them, they looked over the expanse of the shag-carpeted living room and to the dining room table to see their compatriots staring dumbly back at them. Trevor sat at the back with his wispy thin neckbeard and rapidly aging visage. He was sporting a ratty old Naruto t-shirt and his signature khaki cargo shorts, which were 2 sizes too big. He looked just as he had a decade and a half ago, back when they were all in high school. To the right of Trevor was Richard, with his back against the mouldy single-pane window and its peeling paint. Peter briefly remembered when he had first stepped through this door, excited to play his first game of Delve and Discover. D&D, to those in the know, with his new friends. That was back when Richard's mom was still alive, and someone was here to rein him in, not to mention actually keep this place presentable enough for company. Instead of that bitch of a wife who enabled all his worst tendencies. With Richard being so much older than the rest of them, it always struck Peter as strange that Richard was so codependent with the women in his life. Had he never learned to function on his own?
Maybe that's why he always tries to assert dominance over us. I don't know why I'm going British. Every woman in his life has been an insufferable bitch. He's never had power over anything else in his life.
Peter thought to himself. Richard just sat there with an irritated look on his face. He was wearing his signature gaming attire, an old 6XL t-shirt tailored for his 450-pound frame, which read, "I was kicked out of the Girl Scouts for eating all the brownies." Lastly, there was Mikey. Peter didn't really know this kid. He had been one of Richard's son's friends in high school. Now, in college, he had been interested in the game because he watched the guys playing during one of his visits to his buddy and asked to join. Peter didn't care. Mikey was a warm body, somebody to round out the party and make their lives a little easier. He usually played whatever class they told him to, and he didn't complain much, so he was fine as far as Peter was concerned.
Wait, who's my Richard again?
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi. Are you assholes ready to play now, or do you want to waste more of everyone's time?
Richard bitched aloud as they entered the front door to the rundown craftsman.
Shut up and tell us what's happening, Dick.
Peter retorted, with more than a little mirth in his voice, as he and Max sat down at the table in front of their character sheets and dice.
Well, you guys just boarded the SS Boat departing Boroughburg for the sleepy hamlet of Villagetonshire.
Richard responded.
Fuck, Mikey.
Oh,
Who's Mikey?
Alex, dude, couldn't you at least rip off someone else when you name shit? It's hard enough for me to remember all this crap without all these absurdly low-effort names.
Mikey said. Looking up from the game's player's handbook, he was new to the game and was finding it hard to remember what his character could do, let alone what was happening in the world around it.
If shitty naming conventions are the worst thing to happen this session, we are getting off lucky,
Peter replied.
Besides, nothing Dick comes up with could be worse than Trevor's last attempt at running a game. Remember Clawhaven, that cat-girl town?
He visibly cringed as he finished his sentence.
My name is Dick, you asshole!
Richard cried, "It's not Dick."
I think Trevor's you, is he not? Trevor is...
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I thought you guys had fun in Clawhaven.
That's so perfect. Sorry. Trevor mewed, sliding into his seat a little lower. And Max was...
Willem Dafoe.
Claw heaving, it was fine. You did a great job last time. Max chimed in to reassure the poor guy. He had enough self-esteem problems without Peter taking jabs, even if his target clearly was Trevor. Trevor wouldn't figure out he was just suffering the collateral damage. These social cues were well beyond that guy.
Sorry, my bad, Ricky. You just always seemed like more of a dick to me,
Peter said.
Oh, har. Can we get back to the game now? Is that okay with you?
Richard replied, not bothering to wait for a reply before he began his spiel.
So, as you approach the majestic vessel, known for the wide as the SS, not a boat, a grand spectacle unfolds before your very eyes. This extraordinary sea-bound behemoth stands as a testament to human craftsmanship, a true masterpiece of nautical engineering. Its hull, gleaming resplendently in the soft ocean sunlight, is, wait for it, adorned with intricate carvings and gilded trim that shimmers like the morning dew on a freshly bloomed rose.
Wait, didn't we ask for, and I quote, the cheapest fucking thing that won't sink with us on it?
Peter said. Richard continued, not even acknowledging Peter's comments.
The ship's towering masts reach for the heavens themselves, their billowing sails unfurled in a symphony of pure, unadulterated freedom. Each sail bears the emblem of a mythical sea creature, a symbol of the brave adventurers who dare to embark on this extraordinary voyage. The ropes and rigging, meticulously maintained by a team of dedicated sailors, sing with the melody of 1,000 ocean breezes, whispering secrets of the deep. If anybody knows the secrets of the deep, it's Dick.
Peter snorted. Dude, weak, Max replied.
I know. I knew it as soon as I said it,
Peter said in a downtrodden tone.
As you step onto the wooden deck,
Richard continued loudly.
You can't help but be overwhelmed by the opulence that surrounds you. Plush, velvet-cushioned seats line the perimeter of the deck, offering the ultimate in comfort and luxury. Ornate chandeliers cast a warm, inviting glow, and the intoxicating scent of exotic spices wafts from the ship's galley, tantalizing your senses.
Peter laughed loudly.
Ha, ha, ha. Dick's secrets of the deep are tantalizing our senses.
Max nodded, a smirk appearing just at the corner of his mouth. Richard, struggling to ignore the two, continued.
The SS, not a boat, is more than just a vessel. It is a floating palace of dreams, a testament to the boundless imagination of its creator. And as you prepare to embark on this grand adventure, you can't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder, knowing that you are about to become a part of history, sailing into the unknown on the most magnificent ship ever to grace the seas.
Okay, that's nice. Is there a captain that we can see?
Quipped Mikey, not wanting to let this drag out further than it already was destined to be.
Why, of course, dear Mikey,
Richard exclaimed, looking with a side eye to Peter and Max.
As you survey the deck, your keen eyes quickly spot the imposing figure of Captain Grumblebeard Thunderguts, the legendary master of the SS Not-A-Boat.
Okay, I walk up to him,
Mikey said.
Captain Thunderguts, standing at an impressive 7 feet tall, is a vision of seafaring authority. His brawny arms are adorned with
Can we leave now, Mr. Grumbleguts?
Mikey interrupted, as Peter and Max's chortle gave way to outright guffaws.
All right, fine, fuck it. Everybody roll a d20.
Richard replied, clearly having had enough of their shit. What are we rolling for? Asked Max.
None of your fucking business,
Richard replied.
I'm the DM. If I say you're rolling a d20, then roll the damned d20. If you don't want to play nice, then I'll roll it for you, and I'm sure you won't like the result.
The Discovery Mentor, or DM as most called it, was the person responsible for organizing the game and creating the fantasy world in which it was set. Goddamn, dude. Don't be an ass about it. What's the point of us having skills and spells and feats and shit if you're just gonna have us roll a bare die? I just want to play my character. But no, fuck me, right? Calm the fuck down, dude. Jeez. Max clapped back as he rolled his d20. The clatter of dice, one after the other, hitting the table rang through the grimy 1970s decor of Richard's dining room.
11,
Mikey called out.
14,
said Peter.
7,
said Trevor, almost as a whisper. Ah, fuck me! See, this is why I wanted to know what I'm rolling. Maybe then I could at least mod a fucking 5, Max finally said.
Mikey. As your character boldly approaches Captain Thunderguts, Grumblebeard gives you a stern glare, his eyes narrowing with irritation. You get the sense that he's not too pleased with your interruption.
Richard began before pausing and shifting his tone.
But before he can react further, his gaze suddenly darts toward the horizon. His expression changes from annoyance to sheer alarm.
Richard began to speak with urgency.
His eyes widen, and he points a trembling finger toward the approaching threat.
Attempting poorly to affect a Scottish accent, Richard continued.
By the seven seas! It's a kraken! Brace yourselves, ye scallywags!
Richard.
Everybody give me a reflex save. I've had enough of your shit. Unleash the Kraken!
Richard yelled at them, looking at them with a smug look that only a high school bully who just finished shitting in a locker could manage. What the fuck, man? What was the point of giving me all of that shit over the last roll if you really wanted a reflex save? I swear, it's like you just ask for rolls to fuel your fucking narcissism. Finished with his complaint, he picked up his die and dropped it unenthusiastically onto the table. 19! How'd you like them apples? Dick, Max said, looking at Richard with a practiced 1,000-yard stare as the other players rolled their dice and called out the results. The rest of their session continued about as everyone had expected when it became Richard's turn to DM again. He, predictably, had lost his shit. Attacking the party with a kraken, a CR-12 creature meant to be faced by a 12th-level party with gear capable of at least some magical competency. They had just hit level 4 at the end of their last session, and they were still in the harbour of a port city early in the campaign. Of course, this had ended in the dreaded TPK. Total Party Kill. This is just how it went. They had been playing together for 20 years. Well, all of them except Mikey. They knew how every campaign was going to end. Richard was going to go over the top, trying to turn his campaign into a frilly, over-enthusiastic, contrived narrative barreling down the tracks of mediocrity, dragging the players along with him, railroading them through without a sense of agency or fun, and subjecting them to his narcissism along the way. Max would turn every single NPC encounter he presented into a firefight or street brawl, more fitting in a Michael Bay movie than a fantasy role-playing game. There was a firefight! Sorry. So perfect.
Yeah.
Trevor would subject them to any obscure otaku phenomenon his masturbation-addled brain could imagine, while Peter would just pull out every random die chart the internet had to offer and phone in a mess of gonzo fucking nonsense that nobody could follow, let alone actually accomplish anything resembling a story within. Mikey Well, they didn't know how a game run by Mikey would go. He had only been playing for 2 months and was scared shitless of the idea of running a table. So, the guys found themselves here again. 1 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, having just TPK'd after 20 minutes of game time, and completely ready to shelve their books for good.
Hey.
I wanted more Defoe.
I know. But I did love that. I loved the image. Actually, if someone in the audience is good with AI, I would really, or Ahmed or Sin, I don't know, or Jesse, if you are, I would like to see the AI art of Willem Dafoe. What kind of cat is Donut?
Persian.
Yeah.
A Persian cat.
A tortie Persian.
An 18-year-old boy dressed as a maid. Morgan Freeman and Steve Buscemi sitting around a table playing D&D with Gandalf looking over them in the background. I want that is the AI challenge for today.
Yep. I'm down. I want to see this.
It's what an image though. Willem Dafoe playing D&D.
Yeah, that one's.
I could see it.
I could see Steve Buscemi DMing.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That worked out. But he's like dressed like he's got wearing like kids shorts and like a little striped, shirt. That's too small for him. Is that all right, guys? But he's just surrounded by kids. He's just.
I'm just a kid.
Everybody's a kid except
I'm just a
Steve
kid
Buscemi.
like you.
I'm a kid like you. Right.
Like you.
Oh yeah. What was it?
That was in an Adam Sandler movie.
No. It was 30 Rock.
Was it 30 Rock?
It was 30 Rock. Yeah.
I feel like that image is in my brain. I'm like, why can't I picture this so well?
Yeah. Hey, fellow kids. Yeah, that's totally him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey, fellow youths.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you do, fellow kids? How do you do, fellow kids? That's the.
How do you do, fellow kids? That's 100% why I'm picturing that. Oh, that's great. How do you do, fellow kids?
and one of the best parts is his T-shirt says "Music, Lightning Bolt, Band."
Oh, that's amazing! Thank you very much for that script there, Jesse. That was a lot of fun. Where can people find this?
Actually, I haven't done any amount of publishing yet. This is my first book. I'm still writing it. I'm about 70,000 words in, I think.
Nice.
Started in September, so I feel like I'm doing good. I
hope to have it out.
Probably.
Yeah. Have you thought of?
Sorry.
End of what? Sorry.
I'm thinking hopefully end of Q1, Q2. I might have it up on Amazon.
Right on. Have you considered what Jeff was saying about putting it up on Royal Road?
I don't really know very much about Royal Road. I looked into it a little bit, but I don't really know how it works, frankly.
if you've already got 70,000 words, then that means that you could post the first 5 chapters one day, and then leading up to when you want to release on Kindle, just release a chapter a day. And that way, people see it releasing, it'll get people's attention. People will come in and they'll shit on it, or they'll tell you that they love it or whatever. You can get a lot of great, easy, early feedback. If they rip it apart from the beginning, then, that'll save you the Kindle publishing. If they love it, then it'll put a fire under your ass to get it out there sooner, so.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah,
I'll definitely have to create an account on there and get something going because
that's where a lot of LitRPG starts.
A lot of
I know.
Now it seems to be the prime place. I mean, in sheer numbers, that's where LitRPG authors are starting.
Yeah,
it seems.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a much harder look at it. I went through it, read their FAQ, did some other stuff while I was starting the project, and I started diving deep into it, and I thought, nah, fuck that. Just write the book. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. It is another kind of consideration and mental energy, right?
yeah,
So,
exactly. So
figure out
I
another
was
thing.
thinking, well, I can figure all this shit out when I'm done writing it. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, you guys are absolutely right. Get it. I think once I get to like that 70-80% mark, I think I might start publishing stuff on there and see
Cool.
see how it goes.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Well, definitely let us know when you get that going, and yeah, we'll share with the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. Yeah.
All right, thanks a bunch, man.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you
Well,
guys.
Sweet,
Really,
sweet.
it was hilarious.
Well, that's our
Yeah, I
show,
had fun.
guys.
All right,
sorry.
we
You
did
just
a
did it to yourself.
surprise. We did a surprise other movie review. So
Yes,
you know,
the
you guys
movie
ready to talk
was-
about the other movie that we watched?
The other
over the
movie.
week to surprise the
The-
surprise stream.
Dead Tired is a movie. Go see Dead Tired in the theater near you.
Thank you,
With
everybody.
your ears.
Wonderful 2023.
You're
and
gonna
it's
love
all
it.
because of you.
There's a cookie recipe at the end.
Thank you.
No spoilers. It's a real cookie recipe. My partner made it. She wrote up the cookies. They're peanut butter cookies and they're delicious. I don't know. I never tried them. And I don't have taste buds either.
How much? What is the recipe?
You're gonna love them. It's peanut
Is
butter.
it high sugar content?
Yeah, yes, lots of sugar. It'll make your bones jitter.